Hi, welcome to today's presentation. Today we're going to look at asset accumulation, precious metals and cashets. I know I spoke about them before very briefly in previous videos. And in fact, this is video number 6 in the training series with the introduction to Utopian Global. So we're going to look at precious metals today. I'm going to talk a bit about precious metals because I know it's a subject that not many people really talk about openly or even privately. It's not something that most people talk about or are even aware of. So if we look back through history, we can see that gold and silver was actually used as a method of currency exchange. It was used as real money. And I'm going to pull up a chart. This is something that I found on the internet, and you can go and look at this in your own time if you like, if you want to check, do a bit of cross-reference and do your own research, your own due diligence. And this website is elements.visualcapitalist.com, and it's charting the gold to silver ratio over 200 years. And so when we look at this, it's really interesting in terms of where we're at with gold and silver, particularly the gold and silver ratio today in June 2022. So the first part here, it says the gold to silver ratio represents the amount of silver ounces equivalent to a single ounce of gold, enabling us to see if one of the two precious metals is particularly under or overvalued. Currently the ratio sits about 80 ounces of silver equivalent to 1 ounce of gold. This is after the ratio spiked to new heights of 123.3 during the COVID-19 pandemic. While gold is primarily viewed as an inflation and recession hedge, silver is also an industrial metal and asset. The ratio between the two can reveal whether industrial metals demand is on the rise or if an economic slowdown or recession may be looming. And with that information there, I think what a lot of the economists, entrepreneurs and people who understand finance, money and geopolitical events, etc., certain things that are going on around the world, we have seen a bit of a rise in demand for people moving their money into precious metals, particularly gold. And right now, I don't really think there's been a better time to purchase silver right now because of the gold to silver ratio. But not only that, gold is also very attractive in terms of what's going on around the world with inflation, the rising costs of food items, energy, petrol, diesel, and various different things like that. So there's a bit more information here. I'll actually leave a link below this video so that you can come and look at this in your own time. I'm not going to go through it all, but as you can see, in ancient times, in ancient Rome, they had the gold and silver ratio to 8-to-1 back in those days. If we were going by that ratio today, we would see that silver is an absolute bargain right now, absolute bargain. Then there was the fixed ratio in the 18th century, and in 1972 there was a set ratio of 15-to-1, and that was the act on the basis for the US coinage, defining coins' values by their metallic compositions and weights. Now, sorry, did I say 1972? I actually meant to say 1792. And the funny thing, in 1971 President Nixon removed the gold standard from the US dollar. Gold was actually tied to the US dollar up until 1971, and he said at the time it was temporarily removed. We haven't seen any change since 1971. The US dollar is still the world's reserve currency, and it's backed by nothing. It has no real value behind it. This is why people who are in the know tend to save some of their savings, some of their wealth in precious metals. Okay, so that was the 18th century, 15 to 1. Let's scroll down, see if we can see any further information here. I don't think there's anything else here, but if you want to look at this in more detail, come and look at it, come and check it out in your own time. I'll leave a link below this video. So I'm going to head over to Utopian Global now, and when you log into Utopian Global, you can see there's a menu bar here which says Assets. Just simply click on Assets and you'll see an option to choose Cashets or Precious Metals, Hash Power or Store. Just to make you aware, particularly for those of you who have just joined us, or for those of you who are thinking about joining us, the cryptocurrency mining hash power has now come to a close. That ended in 2020 due to various different factors. Old mining machines and the halving of Bitcoin made the mining more difficult, and it came to the point where it was no longer profitable. So that option is no longer there for us right now. It may come back in the future, but I'm not really too sure about that. I wouldn't hold your breath on that one. Store is also a product that has also come to an end, so these are not available, but we do have Cashets, just launched 6 months ago. It's been a massive success, and you can earn a high yield. You can earn good money, a good return on your investment with Cashets, but we'll go into that in another video. I've explained that in some of the recent videos. And like I said before, this is video number 6. You can go and scroll through, check out the YouTube channel, or check out the videos within our Facebook group and within our Telegram channel to find out more about Cashets. But today I really want to focus on the precious metals. So if you click on precious metals from within inside the members area, you'll then be able to choose from this menu here where you can learn more. There's an overview here. You can purchase, sell back. So this is a good thing also about Utopian Global, is if you decided you wanted to save in precious metals like we do at Utopian Global, and you decide you want to sell back, you can sell back at any time. So it's an alternative. For me, this is an alternative to saving cash in the bank. And we all know that, today, in today's economy, it doesn't make sense to hold cash in the bank because you don't get any return on it. At one time you could. At one time, people used to say if you had £1 million or $1 million, the best thing to do was put it in the bank and live off the interest. There's no way that you could do that today in today's economy. And in fact, most banks now charge you a monthly fee just to have it if you have a business account. And so it makes no sense to have cash in the bank. It's always a good idea to hedge against inflation, save precious metals as an alternative saving in the bank. And if you decide at any time you want to convert your metals back into cash, you simply sell back at any time and there's no sell back fee. That's the real beauty of having access to this platform here at Utopian Global. There's also a catalogue, so if you decided that you wanted to save your precious metals and then convert your metals into a product, you could do that also. You can also have your products stored safely and securely in a vault in Switzerland. Now, all the products are minted and produced at Argor Heraeus, which is the world's #1 gold refinery in the world. They're actually a watchdog to other refineries around the world, and so you can be sure that your gold is coming from a good place, or your silver. And we can see here the gold prices are set by the London Bullion Marketing Association. That's what that is here, the LBMA price, and you can see that here it's 50 at the moment, 56.5 euros per gram for gold and 0.68 per gram for silver. Now, if you were to look at what it says here on this page on the Visual Capitalist website, the ratio in ancient Rome in ancient times was 8:1. Let's take a look at what the silver price would look like if that ratio came back to 8:1, which a lot of people do expect will happen at some point. We don't know when that will happen. A lot of people are talking about the Great Reset right now. A lot of people are hoping that we're going to go back to a gold standard and some sort of balanced economy with asset-backed currency. So let's take a look and see what would happen if we converted that 8:1 ratio. So right now it's 56.5 euros for 1 gram of gold. So if I pull up my calculator, we'll take a look and see what that works out to. Some of you who are good at maths might have been able to work that out before me, but let's take a look here. 56.5 divided by 8. That would mean the silver gram price would be around 7 euros, and right now it's at 68 cents. So going by these figures and going by the historical gold to silver ratio, I think silver is an absolute bargain right now. And so this is why it's good to have a diverse portfolio, not just gold but also silver. And we also have, like I said and mentioned before, the Cashets opportunity, which you can learn more about in another video. So it's easy to buy, it's easy to purchase in grams in small amounts. You don't have to have lots of money to purchase your grams. You can simply purchase in small amounts from as little as 10 euros. I think that's the minimum, 10 euros. And you know, a lot of economists, financial advocates, financial pundits would say save at least 10% of your income, your monthly income, into precious metals. And you know, that's what I do. I don't do it regularly enough, but I'm looking towards building up my precious metals portfolio, particularly now that we're in this current financial crisis, this economic meltdown that we're seeing right now with the inflation. And you know, a lot of people believe that we're not just going to head into a recession, but we're going to head into a depression. And if that happens, things are going to be really tough for a lot of people. But if you're positioned correctly with precious metals, you stand a better chance of protecting your wealth, preserving your wealth, preserving the purchasing power of your cash by hedging with precious metals. That's the main takeaway here, is that you protect your purchasing power. Because 10 years from now, the same dollar or the same euro or Great British pound that you hold right now is not even going to buy half of what you can buy with it today. So making your purchase is easy. You just simply click the checkbox, agree to the terms and conditions and refund policy. You can take a look at that in your own time and go ahead and make your purchase in small amounts as and when you feel fit. And if you decide at any time you want to convert back into cash, you can do that. Just simply hit the sell back, go to the sell back page, sell back. It's really simple and easy to do, and there's no sell back fee. Now, I mentioned as well that you could convert your grams into products. So let's take a quick look at this just now, and in the next video we'll go into this in a bit more detail. But there's a bit of information here about the products. There's a product catalogue. You can purchase 250 gram bars. So once you've saved the equivalent amount in grams, which would be 250 grams of silver, and then you can actually convert that to a product, a 250 gram silver bar, or you could go for a 100 gram bar, gold bar, or even the King David coin. These are unique, very, very unique collectibles that you won't find anywhere else. You can only source these inside the members area of Utopian Global. And so you can purchase in small amounts, and when you have enough saved, you can convert to products if you like, and you can take physical delivery. We'll talk more about that in the next video.